top, that's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dream that you did to, oh why can't well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I'll watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, I see skies of blue and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. See friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. The dream that you did to, why, oh why can't
How some remarks by Sheila's husband Shay, and after that, Haley will give Sheila's last sketch. We'll go to the farm.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. It's been really special. I wrote a bunch of stuff down, then I crossed it out. Well, I met my match when I met Sheila Hall. all blurry. I can't see anything. Like, one of my favorite memories was the night we met. We met on the dance floor. And we danced the night of days, I would say. Sheila was a leader of our family. We were together 17 years, married for 15. We spent our 15th anniversary in the hospital, in the ICU. It wasn't always perfect, and I didn't always agree, but Sheila was always right. She's so smart and witty and tough. She's beautiful. She's loyal. She's loved. I love you, Sheila.
Hi everyone, I'm Haley, and I'm Sheila's oldest niece. If Sheila were up here speaking today, she would say something like, "My sister Katie told me she would buy me a package of Skittles if I spoke." I thought about making the same deal with my husband, adding that I only got him if I do it tear-free, but I'm obviously losing already. Sheila Marie Hall Adeyemi was born December 7th, 1980 in Preston, Idaho, to Rebecca and Brunel Hall. Her mother, Rebecca, would later pass away, and Brunel would remarry Darlene, who would raise her as her own. Sheila passed away, holding her husband's hand while surrounded by loved ones, on Sunday, November 17th, 2024. She was 43 years old. But her birthday is in like a week, and I think she deserves that year, so she's 44. Sheila was raised on the family farm with her 5 siblings, Zach, Jared, Katie, Brady, and Jenny. On the farm, she would learn the value of hard work and develop a love of animals. However, I say that with a caveat because, thanks to her siblings, she would develop a lifelong fear of snakes, even the little plastic ones. She would move on to graduate from Preston High School in 1999. She would then join the Army in 2002 and serve her country until 2005. This would give her the chance to experience life in places like Missouri and Korea. After her service to our country, Sheila began pursuing her bachelor's degree in human resources. While attending Utah State University, she would meet Shay. I remember them dating. The phone calls when he was in Florida, calling him Shay Baby. Them living together, and me getting to visit their apartment next to the hospital. I remember her taking me to class one day and pretending I was her daughter, then telling Shay all about it. I didn't know it at the time, but I was watching them fall in love. They would get married on November 8th, 2009 at American West Heritage Center. I can vividly picture their friend officiating their wedding, and he would have to stop them from kissing because they were so excited. It was obvious how in love they were then, and I watched that love continue to grow and show throughout their marriage. Shay has been by Sheila's side, holding her hand through the hardest things imaginable, and has never stopped telling her how much he loves her. It's the type of love you read about in fairy tales. Sheila would graduate from Utah State in 2012 and began working at the VA hospital in Salt Lake, helping veterans and pushing herself to be the best she could in her career. Sheila and Shay would welcome their son Ben, or as Sheila would say, Benjamin, on October 1st, 2013. Sheila let me be there for Ben's birth. She said she was trying to give me the world's best birth control by letting me be in that room. Ben, however, had different plans and was born via emergency C-section. So Sheila would often tell me how sad she was that she didn't get to scarf me for life. Ben became the center of Sheila and Shay's world. Sheila would do anything for her son, and she proved that time and time again. Following the birth of Ben, Sheila would start experiencing things like shortness of breath, fluid retention, and what she referred to as a really crappy chest cold that wouldn't go away. She assumed she was just out of shape from having a baby, but thanks to a doctor who was proactive, paying attention to her family history, Sheila was able to be diagnosed with pulmonary arterial hypertension, or PAH for short, just 2 months after having Ben. Most patients go 2 years before they get that diagnosis, and she said that doctor saved her life. PAH is a rare lung disease that affects not only the lungs' arteries, but the right side of the heart. Sheila's heart would be working as hard as it could to help her lungs breathe. Sheila would often lose consciousness, need more rest, and began needing all sorts of complicated medications just to manage her day-to-day life. Sheila would have to medically retire in 2015 to be the mom she wanted to be for Ben. She began working with a specialized team for PAH at University Hospital in Salt Lake and would spend weeks at our house in Idaho for extra help. We would set up a cot in the living room for them. We would watch movies, go to town to do whatever free event we could find. We'd laugh, we'd play, we'd talk, and we often sat wondering how much longer we had with her. This was the summer and fall of 2015. I graduated that year, and Sheila and Shay would often invite me to stay at their house for a week or go on trips with them because I was their help at being and knew what to watch for. Sheila and Shay would end up taking me to Vegas for the first time and took me to places like Big Rock Candy Mountain, where we would spend our time making silly songs or singing in silly voices, giggling as if we were 2 little girls and not grown women. Sheila had always been open about what she was going through. She spoke in a way that was determined, not often complaining, but more informative. She began writing letters to Ben so that if she passed, he would get to know her. She talked to her mother, Rebecca, or as Sheila referred to her, my guardian angel, and about the connection they shared because they went through the same disease. Sheila would find comfort in buying makeup and watching makeup tutorials. We would often talk about new products that were coming out or the videos we had watched, spending hours practicing so that we could look half as good as YouTube influencers. In 2017, Sheila was placed on the transplant list. She said in her blog, "For me, it was the hardest decision I have ever made. I had to do some deep soul searching and really look at my situation to determine what was best for me. I know I made the right choice for me and my family. I embraced the road ahead, challenges and all," end quote. Right around that time, Sheila and Shay would open their home to me so that I could feel from what I was going through while helping them in whatever way they needed. Without them accepting me into their home, I would have never found my husband and became the person I am today. Living with them, I would spend my days playing with Ben, driving to doctor's appointments with Sheila, or running errands when she asked. I would curl up in bed next to her and we would watch some of her favorite TV shows. We talked about makeup because we were really into makeup. And I watched their lives play out as they navigated their struggles of parenthood, work, and dealing with a rare disease. Sheila would become one of my best friends. I was astonished to see how resilient she was. She would say that each decision she made was for her family. She had to go through so much physical pain, miss family events, and face scary ER visits, but she was happy to do it. Each thing she fought meant she was there another day. She kept her fun personality, making everybody laugh until their eyes filled with tears. She would express gratitude in a way that only she could, making everyone feel so loved and seen. She would speak up for what she felt was right. In August of 2017, Sheila would be able to get her new lungs. The time she had in the hospital would show her ability to fight tooth and nail once again for her life. She kept her sense of humor. We would often get requests to sing the Purple People Eaters song and tell her that she was the most ravishingly beautiful woman we'd ever seen. I would move out 4 months after her transplant, and I was so happy that she was going to be able to live her life. And live she did. She volunteered at Ben's school. She and her family would travel to places where they could enjoy the outdoors. She would come to more family events. She began writing and preserving our family history and spent the last 7 years creating lasting memories with the people she loved most. Sheila mentions in her blog that she often repeated a John Wayne quote to herself. This quote was, "Courage is being scared to death, but sadly not many ways." This quote fits her perfectly. Sheila was terrified of the unknown she faced, but she never let that stop her. As Sheila spent time in the hospital this last time, she proved that again. Sheila is a fighter who never lets the things she faces change her. She stayed loving, empathetic, smart, fun, silly, and authentic in what she loved and cared for. I adore my aunt. She has taught me so much, but I think the most important lesson we can learn from her is to never give up. I will miss her telling me she's proud of me. She always found reasons to tell me she was proud of me. I will miss her because we like the same things. I will miss watching Golden Girls and doing workout videos in her basement. I will miss bug hunts, which we haven't done since I was a small child. I will miss the vacations she included me on and the laughter. I firmly believe that everybody needs a Sheila, and I'm so sad that we don't have ours anymore. Sheila, I'll see you later.
Sharing anything. Would invite anyone in the congregation who would like to share a memory of Sheila. Please come forward and share your memory. As you do that, please state your name and keep it within reason. Do that for about 15-20 minutes.
My name is Brady Hall. I am Sheila's little brother. The loss of my big sister Sheila has left a void. I'm not sure how it's going to be filled. But along with these hard things, the pain and despair and regret, right beside has been an incredible amount of love. Love for my sister, as well as love from my sister, and being reflected back on the people that knew her. As a big sister, Sheila was full of kindness and playfulness. It was very silly. Very silly. I will forever remember her love of the Olympics, particularly gymnastics and figure skating, and how we used to perform for each other and judge each other. And we always judge each other very generously. I'm very grateful to have had Sheila as an older sister. I couldn't have asked for a better role model. And growing up, her commitment to justice and fairness, not just to the people she loved most, but to everyone. The way she lived her life with thoughtfulness and consideration and fearlessness It's been very inspiring. I'm very lucky. My big sister's love and influence is not done leaving its mark on the world or in our lives. And that at least fills me with joy and hope. I love you, Sheila.
Hi, my name is Kayla Roberts. I grew up across the street from the halls. I hope this isn't too self-indulgent that I stand, but I hate to see the time go by. When I think of Sheila, I think of surprise. Mostly because as I watched from across the street, it was usually Katie and her friend, and then Sheila seemed to kind of tag along. And Katie was a lot more talkative, and in our experience, through the church, we also had the opportunity to teach Sheila, and she always seemed a little quiet and a little timid and not needing to take up too much space or too much attention. And then I heard she joined the Army, and I thought, oh my gosh, what has she done? Like, this timid girl is going to go in the Army where all these tough people go. And then time kind of went by, and then as Sheila and I got to know each other, she came over and asked to take some pictures in our yard with Shay. We kind of hit it off. And, you know, in this world, there's so many people that want to act tough. And they usually do that by belittling other people and putting other people down. Sheila was the good kind of tough. She was the kind of tough that spoke up for those that were marginalized, those that were less fortunate. She did speak up for justice. And the surprise to me is how much that timid little girl across the street showed up in my life at times when I needed a friend, when I felt very alone, and all that she taught me. And I would agree, we all need a Sheila in our life, and I'm glad that Sheila was a part of mine.
I'm Patty, and I didn't know I'm Sheila's aunt. I'm her mother, Rebecca's youngest sister. I didn't know this was part of the program, so I didn't plan on sharing thoughts. But Haley, as I listened to your talk, it took me back. I can't look at you. So it took me back when I was 17, and Rebecca passed away. And Renell was a dairy farmer, and those were really tough hours to find babysitters for. And so I got to fill in on weekends, and it wasn't the same, but Haley, I've thought about your connection with Sheila. What a blessing that is. Okay, I can't look at you either. So the time I got to spend with Sheila and Katie during my senior year after Rebecca had passed away, and even into college, and with Brunel on the farm. I loved cats, so that was always a draw to me. And to get to be there, and then I moved away to go to grad school, and I started a career, got married, and after Eric and I were married, whenever I would leave Sheila, I would say, "You just spent time with Rebecca. You just spent time with my sister." Because my sister was silly. We too did gymnastics, so it must be genetics. Nadia Comaneci, if you're old enough to know who she was, we did that more than once. On the stripes in her kitchen floor and on the beams of the cabin porch. We were very generous too, Brady, in our judging as well. So I drove up here today. Again, I didn't know I was going to be sharing thoughts. It's my sister, Carolyn, and I spent some time with Sheila Saturday in the hospital. Took back memories. But I thought just how grateful I am to have loved her, to love Katie the way that I have, and then to watch my parents embrace Darlene. And then that brought us Zach and Jeremy and Brady and Ginny. I watched my parents embrace family, and I'm grateful for that. And so Shay, listening to Brunel's talk, I can see you'll be embraced by family all around you, and I hope that that's the case. I was inspired by Sheila's fight and loved her silliness. As I told Katie in a text, and then again today, it's very selfish, but knowing of her passing, I was like, ooh, you're not part of my sister. Because I'd see Sheila and I'd think of my sister, always. Then I look at Shay, or I look at Ben, and I think, but there's your mom and you too, Ben. So she lives on. And I'm grateful for that, and that belief that I have, that she does live on. And I'm grateful for that.
I'm Carolyn Chipman, and I am Sheila's aunt. I'm Rebecca's, not youngest sister, middle sister. With that, I did not come planning to say anything today either, but I had the privilege of having a beautiful conversation with Sheila. Shay called and asked if I could go and sit with her at the hospital. It was after they'd extubated her the first time, and I got to sit with her, and they extubated her while Shay was still there, and was then able to talk a little bit. And Shay and Ben, I want you to know, the very first thing out of her mouth was, I miss my family. She loved you. She loved you deeply. And then, the rest of you, family, a little while later, I worry about my family. And I said, your little family at Shay and Ben or your big family? And she looked at me and she said, both. She loved you. She dearly, dearly enjoyed every minute that she spent with you. And I want you to know that, and how much I appreciate those moments that I had with her in our conversation. And there was more to that. It was a very tender, very moment that I will remember all my life. And I'm so grateful that I had that opportunity. And Sheila, you taught us many, many things, and I just hope that I am able to live some of the lessons that you taught me in my life. Thank you.
If you don't mind me taking a minute as well. My name is Tony Allred, and I grew up with Sheila. We played Barbies together, we went in each other's barnyards, we played in the cotton seed together, we just grew up together, and we were very good friends. And She just texted me a couple months ago, and I feel bad that I bought her a Christmas present last year and planned on stopping to see her and never made it out there. And so I texted her back and I said, I got your Christmas present from last year. I'll get it to you someday. And I feel bad that I didn't get it to her. But I love her and I miss her. My heart really sank when I found out that she was gone. And I won't get a chance to give her that gift, but I love you, Sheila, and we'll miss you.
I'm Jacob Chipman. I'm Sheila's cousin. When I heard the news that Sheila had passed, kind of a strange lesson she taught me when I was little that I didn't learn properly then, but I'm hoping to learn better this time, kind of came flooding back to me. When I was 4, 5, or 6, I hope not any older than that, because man, the behavior was inexcusable if it was older than that. I was being a real pill at the family cabin one summer, and everyone was done with me. And so I'd been sent upstairs at the family cabin to be in timeout essentially, and screaming and yelling all the way, and still being an absolute pill while just having to sit alone upstairs. And while screaming and yelling, Sheila came up to check on me once and tried reading to me. Some of the cousins will probably remember this, but there was the little red book about the puppy dog having to take a bath. And she tried to read that to me. I don't know if she knew it was one of my favorites or not, but I was still being an absolute pill. I think I threw things at her, I screamed and I yelled at her, and she stayed. She sat with me and she read till I finally calmed down and we went back downstairs together. Those of you that know me best know I don't choose kindness and patience first, normally. Patience is hard. Kindness can be really hard. I choose sarcasm because it's easy and it's comfortable. But I could tell so many stories about times with Sheila where she chose kindness, and she chose patience, and she chose love. So I didn't learn the lesson very well when I was 4 or 5, and I hope I can take that lesson better this time.
Megan McCourt, and I live in the neighborhood with Sheila, and we became friends after she had her transplant. And I have a son, Ben's age. As I've gotten to know Sheila, somebody said surprising, and she was always surprising me. She was such a sweet and fun friend, and we would volunteer in the classes together. And the year I went back to work, I couldn't be in the class as much, and she messaged me this one day about how she had gone down the brown slide, how much her son had loved it, and I was just surprised, and I just thought, oh my goodness, I don't know that I would dare do that, but she was always just doing things that to show her love for Ben and how much she loved him. I remember that she told me once about her military experience, and she had hurt her ankle, and just the culture was that you didn't ask for help. And so she didn't. She just got through it, and I just remember thinking how tough she was. And in my experience with her, she had a lot of hard things, and she couldn't always eat what she wanted, and she couldn't always do the things she wanted, but she always just found a way to have fun and to be silly and to bring sunshine. And I loved her, and I appreciated her, and she was a good friend. She's a sweet lady, and I'm so very grateful that I got to know her. So, thank you. I'm Nikki Strandbeck, and I also am a neighborhood friend of Sheila's, and I've been friends with her for a long time. And we just texted once a month, and a little less often, a little more often. And we'd go fishing together with Pen and Shay and my husband and my son, have some pizza. I met Sheila when she was having lessons with some sister missionaries, and she is so, I loved what has been said about how kind she is. She had differences of beliefs with the sister missionaries, but she was so kind in her approach, and she just loved having them come so that she could talk about God. But she has so much faith. And I know she will be able to see her family again. And I'm sorry the wait is long and hard. But she believed. She researched. She put her whole soul into searching. And she really believed in God.
Hello, I am Sheila's in-law. I'm married to Brady, her little brother, and my favorite memory of Sheila is her coming to visit us in Portland, and we had a really fun day with her, and I've invited some friends over, and we all played a game together. And one thing that I love the most about Sheila is that her playfulness was just out of this world. And I remember her cheating. But I really learned that, like, if you're just really silly and funny and kind, that everyone is okay with you cheating at board games. And I really loved that she was just so fiercely in love with her family, and I've been so honored to be able to have 20 years of being part of her family, and she has embraced me just like a sister of her own, and it really, really meant
miss just how fiercely she loved us, even so far away. And I really am so proud of her for being the person that she was and that she is, and that I've never met someone just so bright and so fun, and she will really, really be missed. And I really, really loved her and love her a lot.
Thank you all for your comments. Funerals are a hard thing. Death is a hard thing. You might find me interesting. I actually enjoy funerals. Why? Because you get felt love from family, from our Heavenly Father. You can hear really good stories about the person who passed. What a great person they were. So I always take advantage of being able to go to a funeral, listen and learn about the life of that person. Sheila was loved. She knew how to love. She will be missed. But it doesn't have to be forever. It doesn't. If we take advantage of the atonement of our Savior. Yes, it hurts. She will be missed, for sure. We now have a musical number by Tommy L. Sheila is the title. And then after that, a benediction from Carolyn Jr.
Sweet little Sheila, you know it, you see her.
Father in heaven, we are so very grateful for the opportunity that we've had to remember Sheila this day. We're grateful for the inspiration that she was to us, for the lesson that she was in courage, the example that she was in her indomitable spirit, the example that she set for us in being a loyal and a true friend, and for her personal integrity. We are grateful for her life and her love. At this time, Father, we ask that we'll find peace and comfort in the happy memories that we share with her, and that she and Ben, as they remember those times, might find that peace and find that joy. And that Emil and Darlene and her siblings and her loved ones and cousins and friends can remember her fun spirit, her happiness, her joy, and find joy in that. And we're so very grateful for, even though those of us who are here are sad for the amazing reunion that she had with Rebecca, and for the time that they now have together. We are grateful for her life, for her legacy, and for her love. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Sheila will be interred in the Fairview House Cemetery. Dedication of the prayer will be given by her dad. Find another audible one. Exactly will be given the dedication of the prayer. Audience, please rise.
I'd like to invite those who are pallbearers to step just out here.
Thank you all for coming.
coming again. We would, I'm not wearing all my hair.